Hi everybody, welcome back to Coffee in the Corral, except for today. It is Coffee in the Roundpen with Zelle. I do have coffee that way over on the outside of the Roundpen, but I'm not going to carry it around because today our episode is going to be training Zelle. So you guys get to be with me while I work with Zelle today in the Roundpen. We're just trying it out. I have no clue if this is going to work or not. It's a little bit windy. I'm trying to carry my microphone and my wires here. I don't know. We'll have to see. This might just be a crazy idea, but you know, I like crazy and I like to try new things. And Zelle is in a really chill mood today. She's really calm. She's standing here looking around. So they go out in the evenings on the pasture. They come in the daytime. So she's already had some hay this morning. So her belly's full. She's not trying to eat grass. And yeah, she's really calm right now. She's really chill. If I can, I try to pick a training time where their mind can be focused and not like at feeding time or not when it's getting close to them going out on the pasture, because then their brain is just, you know, it gets fixed on food. So probably kind of how people get hangry, you know. So I try to honor my horses. If I have the opportunity to train them when it works well for them, I try to do that. So if they're napping, I also don't like to make them get up to train. But, you know, like I said, it doesn't always work out perfectly. But today, it's amazing. So it's a little cloudy out here, but it's really pretty, and it's in the 50s. And, yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for joining me. So I'm just going to get started. For those of you that don't know, this is Zelenka Breeze. She is a registered Kentucky mountain horse. It is a gaited breed, so they have different gaits, really smooth gaits. She's pretty tall. She will be 5, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. No, is she 4? Maybe she's turning 4. I need to look at her papers. She'll be 4. That's pretty bad. She'll be 4 or 5 this spring. And today is officially Zelle's start over day. I shouldn't say maybe start over. I want to say a fresh start. So Zelle gets a fresh start today. She really deserves one. She had 30 days of training put into her that basically just traumatized her. And so she hasn't been able to retain the information. She's biting on my rope now. She loves to chew on things, and young horses like to chew on things. And so I let my horses, and I think it's a really great thing for them to kind of sometimes gets them their minds thinking, their curiosity moving. So I'll put my rope out and ask her if she wants to chew on it. She's allowed to chew on my rope if I allow her, but not allowed to chew on me. So there is a difference there. So look at her just hold that rope in her mouth. She's so cute. Not all horses are this curious about ropes, but she loves to. So anyways, yeah, she just had a lot of very rushed training. And so my mentor, Raina, who I talk about often, who has really been influential in my horsemanship journey, she worded it really nicely this morning, actually in a text message. She listened to my podcast about Zelle's, the journey with getting Zelle and all that. And she said, you know, Zelle learned to move through fear. So when she was trained, she moved through fear, just trying to stay out of trouble, basically. And now I get to teach her to move through confidence. So that's what we're going to be working on. That's her fresh start. So we're just starting her training all the way over, even though she technically has been trained to ride, and I've ridden her a little bit. But I basically quit all of that. We're starting fresh. And the thing about teaching a horse to move through confidence is it takes time, especially when they've had something done the wrong way. So teaching a horse that's, you know, hasn't been trained to do anything is relatively easy. I say easy because you really do need to know what you're doing, but it's a lot harder to teach a horse to reteach something when they've learned it with a certain habit. So for her, she can do a lot of different movements, but she does them very rushed and very fearful. So today we're going to ask her, hi babies, we're going to ask her to move her body through confidence, and that means I have to slow everything way down. I have to start over, introduce everything as if she's never seen it, never done it, and do it slow enough that her mind can stay connected to me and not go into a fearful place. And we may see her get triggered or move through fear sometimes, but it's just, that is the opportunity for me to slow things down even slower and offer it to her in a way that she understands instead of she just reacts. So we want her to respond and not react. So what you see me doing here right now, for those that aren't watching the video and just listening, I'm just standing here while Zelle is just really calm and chill standing beside me, and I'm tossing the rope up over her back and just running it over her body. So it's going on the other side of her, and I'm really careful about this rope. For one, I'm really picky about the tools that I use. This is a yacht braid marine rope. It has a lot of feel to it. It's not a cotton rope. They kind of just go dead. This has weight, and so it throws really nicely, but what you do have to be careful about is if I just toss this rope and I don't follow the movement, this the leather popper at the end will smack her side. So I'm just being careful so that when I throw it up there, and sometimes I do good and sometimes, like, whoops, that wasn't that great of a throw. I'm just tossing it all over her body. This is called desensitizing, getting her comfortable with the tools that I'm going to use and realize that none of the things that I choose to use on her for training will hurt her. Okay, so my goal is to never make her afraid of me or my tools. So I'm just tossing this rope over her back in a rhythmic way. Horses like rhythm. It makes sense to them. They know what to expect if something is rhythmic. Things that are sudden scare them, right? Because it's unexpected. And I do work with my horses in ways where I'll kind of on purpose scare them a little bit, and I'll show you an example here. So I'm just standing beside her, and then I'm just going to kind of jump inside my own body as if like something scared me. You know how you just kind of jump in place, and a lot of times that'll scare the horse, and that they'll feel that energy and they'll kind of jump too. But if you do that often enough, the horses they get desensitized to it and they just start ignoring it, and that can be helpful. Okay, so I want my horses, I'm not trying to desensitize them to not being a horse, but I do want them to be able to handle some noises and unexpected movements, and to be able to be, even if they are startled, to be able to handle how that feels and not run away, because they won't be safe for not just riding, but even just to be around, if a horse can't handle some startling things. So here's what I'm going to do right here, is I'm going to stand by Zelle, and then I've been really calm, tossing the rope over, and now I'm just going to kind of jump in my own skin here. So she's used to me doing that. I have done that with her before. The first time I did that, it was as if someone had lit a bomb underneath her feet. She just like took off running circles around me. But just now her body just jolted, but she didn't move her feet at all. And she didn't actually look too scared because she's kind of used to that. So you'll watch me do it again, and we'll see if we get any movement at all. None. See, the second time I do it, she's like, yeah, I'm on to you. Okay, so now we've done desensitizing. We're going to move on to the next thing. Especially with young horses, they have a short attention spans, just like kids do. You want to just do one thing for too long. So I'm going to just practice walking around the corral for a minute to see how she's feeling today. She seems really chill, but I'm going to kind of test out where her mind is. See if she can follow me with feel, which means I'm not dragging her and she's not dragging me. So I'm the leader and she is the follower. And we do have a relationship. It's not like I'm the leader, I own you, now I'm going to force you to do this and that. But I'm going to ask her first. So as we walk around here, she's staying pretty connected to me. I do not hold my horses underneath the halter. A lot of people are trained in traditional horsemanship to grab right underneath the halter here. And it just traps the horse. Horses can think for themselves, and they can follow. They follow each other just fine. So it's just training the horse that you're a really good leader, that you're worth following. That's the kind of leader I'm talking about, not a heavy-handed leader here. So I'm just walking around. She's staying connected to me. Oh, there you go. Good job, Zelle. She's staying connected pretty well. She's a little distracted. She's looking outside the round pen a little bit. And that's okay. She's young. Okay, so I'm just Can I turn this way and have her follow me? On a feel. That means having float in the rope where I'm not pulling on her and she's not pulling on me. So right now she's doing really good. She's not rushing ahead. She's moving out of my space when I need to turn. She's following me when I turn this way. And if I need to remind her, I might just bump the rope a little bit if she forgets to follow me and starts looking outside the corral. But she's really tuning in well. Okay? So we have that. There we go. A little bit here. Here we are. That's it. Here she breathed out. So that's a really good sign when a horse, just like humans, horses hold their breath when they get scared and they're fearful. And their eyes get really wide. So when she breathes out like that, it's a really, really beautiful sign that she's like, yeah, I'm feeling okay about this. Okay, so now I might ask her feet to do something specific, like backing up. Let's see how that is. I'm going to grab underneath the lead rope here, and I'm just, oh, look at her. She just followed that feel really well. There. And when you're first training and you're with these horses for the first time, you want to, accept the small efforts. We're not looking for her to turn into a pro overnight. This takes a lot of time. It takes years and years to get a horse to a point to where they're really soft and responsive and connected to you. Remember I talked about Shiloh is 25 years. Okay, but watch this beautiful thing here. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to see if we can move a little closer to the camera. I want to watch, something started there for a minute. I want you to watch how when I reach for this rope, she responds right back to me. Okay, let's watch this here. I'm going to reach for the rope and then I grab it in my hands, and you can see her thinking. See her ears? Now I'm just going to put a very slight pressure back there. See her tip her nose down and start backing up, and then I release that. So the idea is that the horse looks for a way to get out of the pressure, and I'm not putting on that much pressure there, barely. I just put on a little bit, and the second she started doing the right thing, I release that. Okay, that's how they learn. They learn by when you stop doing something. So when you're doing something, they're trying to figure out how to get you to stop doing it, is my point. So if your timing is off and you can't release when the horse starts responding to you, if you make them do more, they're going to think, well, that's not the right thing. Let me try something different. And that's how people end up in trouble with really frustrated horses and really frustrated relationships, is they ask too much, too quickly, too soon, and they don't release when the horse even thinks about doing the right thing. Here we go, babies. Let's see how a lateral flexion feels to her. I'm going to come back here as if I'm riding on her back. I'm going to lift up on the rope, and if she moves, that's okay for a second. Okay, she's getting a little distracted, but I'm not going to get distracted. The thing is that I keep my focus, and she'll keep coming back to me. Okay, there it is. I ask her to tip her nose around to me. There. She softens that up. Good girl. Good girl. That was beautiful. Okay. So asking a horse to tip their nose around. If we can't pick up on the rope and the horse softly responds back to us, how are we supposed to ride them and pick up on the reins and get anything done? Okay. We'll be yanking around on our horses. So I want to be able to do this. Okay. I back here as if I'm riding, and I pick up on this rein and I say, would you mind tipping your nose over here? And I start with the float in the rope right here. Okay, and if I don't get any response with the float, then that's when you ask a little bit more. She's a little distracted, looking that way. There we go. Bump a little bit on the rope and ask her again. Bump a little on the rope. She's getting distracted. There you go. Here we go again. Really soft. Bump a little on the rope. There. Breathing out. I have to remember to breathe too. Good. There it is. There it is. There it is. Now, there's your lick and chew. That's what you want. When the horse licks and chews, that's when they're processing something they just learned, a thought. Oh, that was the right thing to do. Okay? Now, anytime she tries to eat grass, I'm going to block her. Because really, really important thing to have with horses is consistency. So your rules don't change. I'm going to ask her to back up a step here. Look at this. When I just touch the rope, look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. She just softens. That is I'm telling you, I know that seems so simple, but for a horse to soften to your touch instead of brace to it, it is a beautiful thing. And you can ruin that really easily. And I ruined a lot of that with Shiloh when I got her because I didn't know any better. I was 14 and I just did a lot of everything wrong. Nope. So I actually built Brace into Shiloh, and some of that I was never able to get out. But I'm really excited with this gift of a young horse because she's really soft, and all horses really are. They want to do the right thing. They want to respond. It's the people that come in and not, they don't realize it, but they train these bad habits, and they train Brace, and they train fear, and they train all of this stuff into the horse. And so that's how the horse is always reacting to them.